Hello, it's Garsen again, and today we're actually going to talk about Arcane Acuity, and this is going to be like a little addendum to the last video from the Scoundrel Ring. But we have Shadowheart and her beautiful clown suit ready to optimize, kill some people with Hold Monster. But as you can see here, Hold Monster is a whiz save. We only have, what, 12 spell save? We have Charisma 16, it's not as high as we like. We only have 15 spell save DC. What happens if we try to cast it? 49. That's no good. Here, let me go ahead and demonstrate how Arcane Acuity works. We'll just poke this lovely lady here. No big deal. Yep, get a little angry at us. We're gonna actually just kill you. Whoopsie. Alright, and look at this. Okay, now we have 72 from 49. That's pretty good. Much better. Oh, wow, what do you know? And because we had Bloodlust Elixir, we get another attack in. Let's see what happens when we get up close. Hi-ya! Oh, boom! Let's go with a level 4. Kaboom! So that was a big meaty chunk right off his HP. That's nice. Alright, let's see if we can hold him in place. Gale, what do you think? You're doing great! Alright, so let's go for another attack. Hi-ya! And then one more. Oh! Looks like, I think he's dead. Let's give him one more just for sure. Yep. Okay, he's done. Time to walk away like a badass. Wha-bam! Gale, you kind of... whatever. You kind of stole that. But that's how it works. So, let's actually talk about what we just did there. Like I said, this is going to be about Arcane Acuity. Namely, we're going to talk about the helmet mostly. And I'll try and go over the other options and details. The Acuity, or helmet, is the one we're using right now. So let me actually pop out the notes. We'll get right into it. I'll try and break it down for you, alright? So, come on. There we go. Alright, so Arcane Acuity is what we're talking about. This is really, like I said, a little bit of an addendum to the spell, the Scoundrel Ring, but we'll get to there in just a moment. Essentially what we're covering is the concept of bopping people to get spell save DC, or using like specific damage types in order to buff up our spell accuracy, right? And this is, all the options are going to be available in Act 2. Just keep that in mind, right? So what is Arcane Acuity? Well, let's go in game. Let's actually go to the helmet, see if the game can spell it out in nonsensical terms or whatnot, right? So battle acuity is whenever you deal damage with a weapon, you gain arcane acuity. That's the specific helmet activation, conditions, right? But once you have arcane acuity, what it does is affected entity, you get a +1 bonus to spell attack rolls and spell difficulty class, right? Usually it's the DC that we're trying to raise so that any saving throw, like the hold monster there, went from a 49 to a 71%. So for each remaining turn, well, the nice thing is, I think in every arcane acuity item, it's always going to give you 2 turns anyway, so it's effectively giving you 5% per turn, so that's 10% every time you activate it. And if you watched in that demo, I struck our mage friend here twice, so that gave me 4 stacks of acuity. Because I started combat, like, I may have taken away one of my turns, but let's just pretend it was 4, right? So each strike was giving me bam 1, bam 2, so that's 4 stacks of arcane acuity, which would come out to be a 20% raise. The math is a little off, obviously, but that's effectively what you're getting out of it, right? So if we go back to the notes here, so it's a condition applied to your own character. That's why saying affected entity just means you. I don't think there's any like giving arcane acuity to anybody, or anybody giving you negative arcane acuity. Don't know it, I'm pretty sure. But it adds spell save DC and spell attack as well. So things like Eldritch Blast that operate off of a spell attack. Let's go into the notes here. This was raising our spell attack and our spell save DC. And in fact, if we reload this, I'll go ahead and do that for you. We'll actually see it in real time. But it's going to raise both of those, and it'll actually, if you hover over these two in your spellbook, it'll tell you what's affecting it, what's adding on to it, right? While this is loading in though, why should we use this? Well, it gives you more accurate, your more accurate hits and cantrips and weapon attacks and whatever you're going to do, your more accurate but maybe weaker hits can enable more powerful spells to land, like we saw with the hold monster there. Also, there's some good synergies involved, and we'll talk about a specific one in just a second. So again, if I poke her, let's see how much I actually get. And then keep in mind, this was 49% for the hold monster. The reason I'm not using hold on her is because she has spell, what is it, counter spell. Okay, so you can see it down here. Arcane Acuity, I got kind of cheated out of one turn of this. It's not because it's not working, it's because when it's the wackiness of starting a fight like that. So if we poke her again, whoa, bam, oh, nice crit. Okay, Arcane Acuity is now 3 stacks, meaning we got 2 from the 1. And if we actually go up here, remember our spell save DC was like 15 or 16? It was 15, right? So it actually tells us right there, dummy. +3 to Arcane Acuity, and it does also affect your spell attack, which you can think of as like weapon attacks. It's almost the same thing for spells. Anyway, oh look, it doesn't even give a breakdown for this. Go figure. Well, whatever. So the breakdown for the DC is obviously your charisma is influencing it, your proficiency, and then anything you can add like Arcane Acuity. And that's why our hold monster gets buffed up to a nice comfy 72 here. Let's see if we can land it again. Oh, bam! Aw, he got saved. Alright, well, you tried, Shadowheart. So we'll let that load in. But while that's loading in, I want to show you another cool little example of it. But let's actually talk about that synergy I was talking about. Mystic Scoundrel Ring, which we covered just in the last video. So what happens is with Mystic Scoundrel, while having that ring on, when you use a weapon attack, you will enable a bonus action. And we saw that, right? So in the same term that I struck her, I end up getting a bonus action. See how I can't cast any of these spells? Well, all of them get highlighted when I attack her because the Mystic Scoundrel Ring, right? Whenever you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can now cast Illusion or Enchantment with your bonus action. So that's why there's this powerful synergy, because with specifically the Arcane Helmet, right? This is a natural synergy where you're already hitting people for battle acuity with your weapon attack. So now you're not only getting the ability to cast with a bonus action like hold monster, and then you can also get extra accuracy like we saw with the hold monster on the big guy there. So one attack will add 10% accuracy, 2 turns, while allowing the ability to cast right after with a B action, or like I did, just poke 2 times instead of 1. And then if you have something like Bloodlust, that can further enhance the synergy, because now you have a whole nother attack or action. And in honor mode, it's a little nerfed, but you know, it's still a bonus attack where you can do massive crit damage with this paladin bard build I'm doing, right? So we're just focusing on the helmet. I'm going to go into another example, but just so you know, before we go into that, I just give you the little details. You can find all of these items in the Shadowlands in Act 2. Like I said, the availability is in Act 2. There's just, I just wanted to make a quick video instead of trying to find them all. The helmet's very easy to find. You find it in the Masonry area, but you're going to need the Pixie Blessing or a Lantern. In the Shadowlands. The Storm Hat is in Moonrise Towers, if I remember correctly, and the Fire Hat is from a very strange hat, or strange ox. So the helmet is from weapon attacks. The Storm is any kind of storm damage, so if you get the, if you do like elemental weapon and just add thunder damage, it'll do that. Fire is from any fire damage, so you can even use this on mages. It's popular for fire mage builds. Because you're just constantly throwing out cantrips, and go figure, any fire damage comes from the Fire Hat. Go figure. Obviously there's this build right here, and then go figure, all of these options are helm slots, right? There is actually an elixir. I apologize, I don't really have one on me. It actually gives you a constant 3 acuity. It says 3 turns, but it's ticking down, but it actually doesn't go away. It's until long rest, which also means if you die or you swap it out, your elixir slot is going to be used up. So try and plan accordingly for that. But it is just a flat like +3 bonus to your DC, which is nice. Pretty worthy of an elixir slot. And you can start finding these as soon as a level of 6, but they're at shops at random. And even though you can craft them, you're really not going to craft them until you find the materials like in Act 3. So just keep that in mind. Last thing I want to cover for the items that do this, there is the gloves of Battle Mage, the Battle Mage gloves or whatnot. Let's actually look at them in game. So, Gloves of Battle Mage's power. When the weapon attack roll inflicts a condition, the wielder grants Arcane Acuity. And it's the same thing. You get like 1 or 2 turns. In fact, you don't get any turns, because I think since launch this does not work. Yes, it still does not work. There is a mod to fix that, so that's pretty cool, but then you're modding the game. So just keep that in mind, all right? So last thing we'll do is just do another example rather than just the Paladin build. Kind of wanted to show a funny little example of how to use this ring. because it's not just all about hold person. Let's see if I can get it. We'll use the scoundrel ring again. Where is it? It's up here. See if I can get this right. Practice this earlier. All right, Gail? Practice this earlier. We can do it. Here we go. And bop. Oh yeah, I pissed her off. Cool. And then skip a turn. It's gonna come over here. That's nice. All right, come here, robot. Perfect. Or not. Whatever. All right, so get 3 turns on Acuity. Perfect. And then we can actually get another turn on Acuity. Badoo. Perfect. All right, I've run out of turns, right? Aha, action surge. And what's this? Oh, just a casual telekinesis, 90%. Goodbye. Goodbye. This is hilarious, by the way. Weed! So, that's pretty cool. We had a 90% on the strength save and just throw a robot off a bridge. But that's gonna pretty much do it. Just a quick one. Just wanted to kind of, like I said, add on to the last video, show you what the synergy, the real synergy is all about. Very popular strategy combined with the Scoundrel Ring, Blood Loss, and Paladin crits and all that stuff. But I want to give you the building blocks so you can use it any way you see fit and maybe throw your own robots off of a cliff. But you have a good one. I'll check you guys out in the next video. Until then, take it easy.